And it says, we're live. You're beautiful. I'm here. It's Thursday night. Of course, that means it's time for GotBot Goes live. And I'm actually kind of on time tonight. I'm just going to get things set up and we'll go on from there. First things first, and I'll probably say this a couple of more times through the night. If you live in Canada, happy belated Canada Day to you. I hope that it was fantastic. And if you live in the US, happy early 4th of July for you guys. I hope you have a safe and enjoyable time indeed. Like I said, just give me a couple of minutes and I am going to get things set up. I hope you guys have been having a good week. Hope you guys have been having a stellar, kind of start to heading into your weekend. And I'll let you know kind of what the schedule is tonight, what we're going to be covering. It's not going to be as full of a night as last week was, because of course last week was our 1-year anniversary show, and we had a couple of big unboxings. So it was really enjoyable last week. And I do see people in there, guys. I apologize. Bear with me. I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. I promise. Let me just move that there, and we'll just go here like this. And okay, so very first things first, I'm your host, your most humble host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, baby, that's right, hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors NL, the Autobot family, Transformers versus G.I. Joe versus DC Universe versus Marvel, and me everywhere across social media. All those links are in the description. Plus, you can see what we offer to you through Teespring as well as our Patreon. And what do we have tonight? Well, I'm going to give you a very brief update on how the custom Deathcobra is coming along since last week. We'll do our trivia in a few minutes as people kind of pile in here a little bit. We're going to go down through the news. This is a news-heavy week because, of course, we had that Fan Friday last week, and we've had a number of things since, and it's almost kind of like so much that it's hard to keep track of what's coming from where. So we're going to dive into all of that very shortly. Let's see what you guys are saying. I see Waluigi in here. I see good old Ninja Bill in here. Fantastic. Glad you actually made it, buddy, without having to be late. I know sometimes you're coming here a little late. Jay, happy to see you. Whoa, I can't say all that, so I'm just going to say super. And I'm glad to see you. Tommy, happy to see you in here, buddy. Motormaster Studios, happy to see you. It's been a while, my friend. As we go down, Steven, what's up from northern Minnesota? There you go. I just got Siege Skywarp and Red Wing. Are they good additions? Absolutely, they're good additions. I love both. I adore that Siege mold. I talked about last week because I finally got Hotlink. If you have both of them, I don't see a way that you can go wrong. It's such a well done mold. Congratulations to you, my friend. MWG, happy to see you in here. I finally found Thundercracker and Skywarp 2-pack. I find that funny. People say, I finally found. I don't even think it's released in Canada yet. And saying they finally found. Oh, it always cracks me. It's like people will say, like, you know, like, I finally found, I don't know, like, if you're saying, like, I finally found Earthrise Optimus Prime, I get it. He's been out for a long time. But if you were like, I finally found Double Dealer, like, what do you mean finally? It's like, if you get it now, you're getting it early. But regardless of the fact, congratulations. I'm glad you found it. I'm glad you have your secret trio. Did you know AOE Galvatron was going to be Motormaster? I did not know that. I'd heard the rumor, but I didn't know that they had planned on it. Yeah, Fan Friday repaints. True. And I have a bone to pick with Fan Friday, to be honest with you. But we'll get to that. Hey, Polynus, happy to see you on the road. Ninja Bill's on the road. Hey, Kato, happy to see you. Kato working a bit of magic. Him and Larkin working a bit of magic. I'm going to guess, Kato, that if Larkin has both exhaust and grease pit, I know that I think it was exhaust I saw from you. I'm pretty sure he got grease pit too. Congratulations, by the way, for finding those guys. Looking forward to the show. I'm glad you're looking forward to the show, man. Seekers will always be good additions to a collection. There you go. Jay just said it. Yes, Seekers are always good additions to a collection. MWG managed to get the Target Seekers as well. Hey, TFN Geek, happy to see you in here. Maximal 10, happy to see you in here. Okay, so we're going to run down through some of the news here. And tonight we're going to try, last week was a long running show. We're going to try and make it a little quicker tonight and get through the news. Very soon I'll do the trivia. I have not done it yet. Kato, don't guess C, buddy. Not yet anyway. Oh, he passed on Grease Pit. There you go. I knew, but you did get, I did see, and you did in fact get Exhaust though. I'm correct on that, right, Kato? So I'm just happy to see you in here, my friend. Guys, if you haven't been checking out A Community for Us All, and I'm sure I'm saying the name wrong, but check it out on Soul Miss channel every Monday afternoon. Kato already saying C. I just told him not to do that yet. Not until he's heard it, man. Cybermatic Geek, happy to see you. Okay, so the news. Exhaust, Grease Pit, they were both announced. Grease Pit is basically a reuse of Ironworks with the hook replaced with gas tanks. It looks fantastic. I am personally in for it. I heard, and I'm kind of getting this. Maybe Kato can clarify it for me, because I think I kind of got it from Larkin, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't see him in here, at least not yet. My understanding is that eBay and Toy Dojo got a small amount that they sold out of pretty quickly. Outside of that, I'm really not sure how else to get them. Now, I've seen them up on a few US sites. I almost ordered them from one, but when I put them in the cart and I went to the checkout, the shipping to here in Canada was literally double the price. They're already, $29.99 Canadian, so they're already $30 each. So that meant two of them would be $120. No, never going to happen. I have heard, however, that for in-store brick and mortar, that they may, at least Exhaust, may be coming to Toys R Us. I'm going to guess Grease Pit might end up there too. I think we'll see over time. I'm not stressing about it yet. Congratulations if you got it early. I think they look great, but I will say this. Exhaust, for understandable reasons, is more stylized. Why his red looks more almost brownish to me, man, I don't know. It should have at least been a bright red. I love the head sculpt, though. We also had new images shown for the Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave this week. Cliffjumper and Topspin, all three look like fantastic additions to the Studio Series line. Cliffjumper in particular, in his alt mode, looks like the Fall of Cybertron Sideswipe. Topspin looks like Topspin. In terms of Soundwave, he is the version that turns into the satellite. I feel like it's a kind of a lazy, done satellite version. The robot's fine. The chest is fine. Kind of a bland color. I think the version of him as a car with Laserbeak is the better version. I think that Dark of the Moon version is the better version. But hey, if you really love Soundwave and you want him as a satellite, go for it, man. Go for it. Just going to check in here with you guys a little bit. I uploaded your pick for the new review. Yes, I did see that, Ninja Bill. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I did see that. Yes, that's right. That's right. Kato reviewed Exhaust. Grimlock Gone, happy to see you in here. I don't have a problem with Rock Lords, to be honest with you. Cybermatic Geek. I'm making cookies. Yum. I get everything. At least I try to. Yeah, I try, but I'm not stressing about it, man. A community for all of us. I think I said for us all. For all of us. Yes, I'm sorry. A community for all of us. It is Mondays. It is Soul Miss channel. Check it out if you haven't been. Yeah, Dojo had a few. There you go. BS Prime, happy to see you in here. Tentatively in for all announced selects. Get the 3 Hasbro reveal order from Pulse. There's my bone to pick. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. I just wanted to say hi. Hey, Mike, happy to see you. Some reason I keep missing Earthrise, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. Blitzwing. Yeah, no, Blitzwing was shown last week, not in the images this week, Soul Mist. I talked about Blitzwing last week. Let's see. Hey, Starscream Whip is in here. She's in a bad mood, so she'll probably just watch the chat. I'm going to try and get through this quickly. It's been like a warm day. We've been busy going around and stuff. I've been talking about being warm for a while, so I'm going to try and make this quick. Let's see. I got the Dark of the Moon Soundwave in the mail. That's not bad, man. I'm still waiting on some mail myself. Elixir, happy to see you here. How do you think you'll review the Coneheads stuff I sent you? I'm not. I don't think I'm going to review the Conehead stuff you sent me. I would have to buy it, and I'm not planning on buying it. But I will mention it now. Elixir here asked me about the Tetra Jet Coneheads, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he said, there's an add-on kit for it. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he sent me these links. And I went and I looked, and they are parts if you wanted to turn the Tetra Jets into Coneheads. Now, they have them there for all three of the Coneheads, but you would have to do an extensive repaint on a Tetra Jet mold to make it become a ramjet or a dirge or a thrust. Could you do it? Absolutely, positively you could, but you would have to get the add-on parts, and you would have to really kind of settle yourself in for doing an extensive custom. I'm not doing it. It's not for me. It might be for you. It's not for me. It's cool that he brought it up, but it's definitely a very niche customizer. That's for sure. Going down here. No, we should not power links. Okay, so continuing on down here, I found it very interesting that we also saw more images of Earthrise Double Dealer. Man, I'm liking this guy more and more. All the modes look good, although the bird mode is kind of boxy. But what I love is the little flip over flap on his shoulders so he can switch between Autobot and Decepticon. I think that's a nice touch and a nice way of handling it so that he can be either, you know, bad guy or a good guy, depending on who's paying him the most. We also saw some more images of Scorponok, and I found this really interesting because I explained last week, or I think maybe the week before, how in Japan you had, Scorponok, and he became Mega Zarak, and eventually that became Black Zarak. But in North America, we had Lord Zarak, who became the head of Scorponok. Here's the thing, looking at the images that I love. The little Titan Master looks like Lord Zarak. He looks like the Nebulon, as he should, with the red visor. When you put him on the head of the bigger body is actually Mega Zarak. That's what it's called. And that's what it looks like. If you look at the way the body looks, and if you look at the way the face looks with two distinct red eyes, it does look like Mega Zarak. I'm sorry, it does look like Scorponok from Japan, which is their equivalent of Mega Zarak. So I love that. And of course, then the head goes on. So I love the nod to both the Japanese look for Zarak and the North American look, and how they fuse them together in this Titan Class release. Absolutely, positively love it. Then we get to my problem. I want to talk about the Fan Friday stuff, and we had a lot of stuff that was shown. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but one of those items that was shown was the Centurion and I guess like accessories pack, and it was going to be offered through Hasbro Pulse, and it went up for like $19.99 US. Wonderful. Unfortunately, outside of the US, it's pretty much impossible to get that. I think it's despicable that they offered it only to one country. I think that's reprehensible. I hope that it gets announced, but if you're not ready for international distribution, it never should have went up. I think it's disgusting. I think it's a disgusting move on their part, and I don't apologize for it. There's millions of fans that would like to have access to that, and because of your limited business sense, limited acumen, I don't know what you want to call it, I don't understand why you would do something that would leave sales on the table. Lots of them. I love the Brunt mold. I've said it from day one. I would be in for it like that, but I'm not paying an arm and a leg and shipping from Pulse. That's ridiculous. As well, in the pack, we all know that we get the Energon cubes. I would like that. The axe. I would like that. The mace. I would like that. Roller. I don't really need that, but you know what? One of the Scraplets has the trailer. He could use that. The Cage for Ravage. I would like that. Sideswipes Jetpack. I would like that. Trail Breakers Radar Dish. I would like that. Cliff Jumpers Blaster. You can put that with anybody, but I'd like that. Same with Bees. Ironhide's Drill Buster Blaster things. I would like that. G1 Megatron and Shockwave. Like actually scaled so they could fit in the hand. Perfect. I would love that. Same with a scaled reflector, and same with Soundwave. I don't really care about the Mini Optimus, but Like for all those things, I mean, I'd be in for it. And they didn't even have the, I don't know if it's wherewithal or like respect for the fans or what internationally to even announce how it might be offered outside of Pulse, outside of the US. I think it's reprehensible. I'm sorry. I was not impressed with that. So people have asked me, like, are you excited? No, because I can't get it. Hard to be excited over something that I can't get. If the situation changes, great. But before it was ever announced or released, it never, ever should have been a Pulse exclusive. It never, ever should have been. And if they were going to make it a Pulse exclusive in the US, then they should have had an announcement ready as to how it was going to be available internationally. It's a black eye for them. It shows their bungling and their clumsiness in their business model, as far as I'm concerned. You're an international company. If you don't think internationally, then you're not doing your job. I don't like it. Can you tell? I don't like it. That being said, we do have other things that are pretty cool. The alternate universe Optimus Prime apparently is going to be an Amazon exclusive. Last I knew, it's not up on Amazon.ca. It is on Amazon.com. And I have ordered stuff from Amazon.com before with pretty cheap shipping, actually. So I'm okay with that. Tiger Track and Rotor Storm were announced. I don't really know either character. If you want a yellow version of that Sideswipe mold, cool. I love the Spinister mold, so having it as Rotor Storm is cool. If you're a big fan of the comics, you're probably a big fan of Rotor Storm. Outside of that, I don't know. Will I get him? I don't know. We'll see. We found out that we're getting a reissue of G1 Blaster. It's going to make a lot of people happy, especially to go with their Soundwave. I'm going to say this, though. Around here, the last G1 reissue we had was Optimus Prime. We didn't get anything else. No Astro Trains, no Soundwaves, no Rumbles and Frenzies and whatnot and Laser Beaks. None of that. We didn't get any of that. We never got Devastator because they didn't sell. They just rotted on the shelf and rotted on the shelf. And collected dust and eventually went on clearance. Like Hot Rod went on clearance for like $7 and Optimus went on clearance for like $9. They were asking crazy prices. Like that Optimus was like $75. Okay, whatever. So if you're in for the reissue line, rejoice. Blaster's coming. I think that's going to make a lot of people happy. We found out that we're going to get more of these red characters. We saw Soundwave, and now we have learned that we're going to be getting many Beast Wars characters done that way and beyond, whatever and beyond means. I think that animated done that way, as was mentioned last week, would be great. If this might be the start of a nod to some like Armada, Cybertron, Energon stuff, so we will see there. We also found out more about the Back to the Future crossover. It's going to be Gigawatt. And again, like, I'm disgusted by that too. Here's why. They said in October, a wider release will be on Pulse. It's no good to the rest of the world. And pre-orders go up tomorrow on Walmart.com for a numbered amount of 1,985. What about like Walmart.ca? Nothing's been mentioned about that. Nothing. As of right now, there is no way outside of the U.S. that I am aware of. If somebody knows, point it out to me. But there's no way outside of the U.S. to get Centurion and the add-on kit or the accessories kit, or to get the crossover. Like, I think they're bungling. They look stupid making these announcements when, as far as I'm concerned, they're not ready. You don't have an international plan to roll these out. You're making yourself look foolish. I'm sorry. You're not looking like a competent business. Not to me. I'm seeing all this. I'm like, who cares? We can't get it. Who cares? Just an outsider's perspective. If you're a global business, then you got to think globally. Just saying, you're leaving way too many sales on the table. Japanese exclusives are apparently going to also be up and coming, like the Dino cassettes. Great, unless it's going to be another Pulse nonsense bull. Likely the Autobot clones are coming. Look, we just got the Decepticon ones. I told you guys a while ago, if you missed them before, man, get them. Because the clones are fantastic. The Autobot ones coming out, I assume, are going to have the paint job of Japan, just like the Decepticon ones do. And that's cool. Honestly, they're simple molds, but they're fun. Here's the thing that always gets me. We have 4 different alt modes, but really, in essence, the mold is the same mold, just with a few added parts here and there. It's the same mold used 4 times for 4 very different alt modes. And I think that's fantastic. I said that a long, long, long time ago. I'm going to check in with you guys because I've been here kind of, complaining about. Well, no, I wasn't even complaining. I was just saying the way it is, man, with Hasbro. Like, they're incompetent, and it shows. Let's see. Everyone knows that if I had superpowers, I would not use. She would not use them for good. She would definitely be a supervillain, no doubt. I'm getting 2 double dealers. Why are you getting 2 double dealers? Earthrise G1 Astro Train, Seekers 2-pack, or Earthrise Starscream. Earthrise or neither Astro Train. I would pass on all of that. Sorry, Blue. I'm not a big fan of G1 Astro Train. The Earthrise Astro Train is too small, and the Earthrise Seekers are not as good as the Siege. That bird mode, yeah. I know it should be boxy, but like, come on, Ninja Bill, come on. Get all of the Seekers, Blue. Yeah, follow Jay. Like, if you're interested in the moles, then follow what Jay said. Get all the Seekers first. What's my favorite Transformer? My favorite character, anybody who's been around long enough can probably answer this. My favorite character is Wheeljack, and my favorite in my collection is Metroplex. I never get tired of them. Hey, Nick, happy to see you. Linksmaster, Earthrise, leader, Optimus Prime is very great, and hope for show Studio Series. Yeah, I don't want a G1 Grimlock. I don't think G1 should have anything to do with Studio Series. I think they should steer clear of that, man. Buy all the Studio Series. Yeah, Jay loves Studio Series. We should all get the... See, I know, right? We should all get the weapons pack. Absolutely. Every single fan would buy that. If there are 10 million fans, 10 million of them would buy that pack. 100%. I have zero doubt. Earthrise Barricade. I could see Earthrise Barricade coming from the smokescreen mold. Interesting. Apparently on Amazon.ca, at least, if you go a roundabout way, they had a listing. There was no pictures or anything. A bunch of people did put in a pre-order, and you can't do it now because it says not available, for apparently the 2-pack of Ironhide and Prowl. But like, I don't even know if that's going to get honored because it was a pretty sketchy listing. Hasbro Pulse should flatline, only benefits a few fans and scalpers. Absolutely maximal 10, 100%. I'm not buying Earthrise, and that bonus box set annoys even me. Ben saying hi to everyone. Hey, Jillian. Yeah, you're not too late. It's all right. Jay and hey, Jay. Let's see. I benefit from Hasbro. I benefit from Pulse. Have yet to have to pay for a premium. They probably will find a way to offer the accessories. And if MWG, here's the thing. It shouldn't be, they should find a way. It should be before they open their big trap and announce anything that they got it in place. Because all you're doing is alienating and enraging fans that would like to have this stuff and saying, sorry, too bad you don't live here, so you can't get it. I think it's disgusting and despicable. Stuff like that, honestly, stuff like that makes me physically ill. That's how passionate I am about that stuff. It makes me physically ill. Most selects are internet and comics. No. See, here's the thing. Most selects here are either EB Games or Toys R Us on shelf. Most of the selects I've gotten on shelf. Here's the thing. If you know that you have stores in a country that will put them on shelf, have that set up before you announce it. If you want to offer it through Pulse, great. But even in the US, it should not just be through online shops or little comic shops. No, you should have it set up. You're a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company. And you're telling me that you don't have the common sense to have your distribution line set up? There's a problem there in their middle management that needs to be addressed. A serious, serious problem in their middle management and their promotions that needs to be addressed. That Centurion is going to be scout. People are going to put it up, and you're going to get a few suckers who are going to pay through the teeth for it. Not me. You know what I'm like. I protect my wallet and yours, lads and lasses. What's going to be getting the who's going to be getting Dirge and Thrust? Hey, while we're at it, we saw Dirge. We saw the Earthrise Dirge. It's definitely a remold from Thrust, and boom, here we have the original classics Dirge. Now, I've said before that the Earthrise mold is better than the classics. I don't think it's as good as the Siege, but it's better than the classics. So now we come to the Coneheads. And the Coneheads did not get a Siege update, even though Elixir now would say, hey, you could do Siege Tetra Jet Coneheads, and he's right. But looking at the Earthrise and the classics, the null rays on the Earthrise are likely going to be better. The arms look about the same. No problem there. I like the chest on this one better because the back opens up and the pylons are connected to the chest. The new chest splits, of course, right here, as we all know. But here's where things get interesting. I like on the new one that the knees are actually colored with the white and like outline and the purple, as they should be. And I like that we have like a cone head that is a little more to scale. In this one, the actual front of the jet is the head, which is cool. In the new one, if you notice and you look at the image, just like with Starscream and Skywarp and Thundercracker, the nose cone will come down here on the back. And underneath, there will be a fake smaller cone that is more commensurate with the size of the head. I also like that the little wings here, I'm sure they'll be able to move better on the new one. Yes, I think that Dirge is going to be better. I look forward to getting him. Honestly, Jillian, I'm in for all three of the cone heads. That's my use of that Earthrise mold. I hate Hot Rod. He killed Optimus Prime. Fair enough, Jan. Let's see. Hey, John, happy to see you, my friend. G1 reissue Optimus Prime wasn't worth 50 without. No, and up here, that was 75. He wasn't worth. He's hardly worth 20 without the trailer, to be honest with you. What am I mad at? I think it was a reference to being mad that Hot Rod killed Optimus Prime. Dragonfly, happy to see you in here. I want my Chipotle. All right. I can only understand why. I only understand why, but we've seen worse hero deaths. We have. This is true. And I know I'm missing some stuff here, guys, so I apologize. Hold on, I got to go up because I missed some stuff here for sure. Where is it? Where is it? Got mine yesterday. How often does Hasbro talk about international distribution at shows like Toy Fair or SDCC? Those are US-based shows, and international distribution news is boring to that audience. But it's not. Who cares, MWG? They're an international company. And they're not US-based shows. The entire world is watching what comes out at those shows. That's a very ignorant thing to say, honestly. Very ignorant and uninformed thing to say if you're in US business. I'm sorry, but no, I don't support that at all. I hate always having Transformers shoved down my throat that nobody else can have. They often cheap out on them, they do cheap out on them. But here's the thing. Like I said, I was all for buying, and I was going to use a site that's based in the US. I was all for buying Exhaust and Grease Pit because they're not on anywhere in Canada yet, or that I know of anywhere else. I hear the same complaints from a lot of people in the UK. And then when I went, the shipping was literally double the price. Come on, get real. If you have no better sense than that, then you know what? You shouldn't be doing international business. I'm pretty thrilled with Hasbro overall. I'm disgusted by them. I think they're one of the worst companies going. Any room for Transformers for Friday? Doubtful. I always wondered why Walmart and Target don't stock Selects figures. Me too, Jay. I have no idea. I don't understand a lot of things that they do. All these annoying exclusives and whatnot as it is. I get it. They're paid a premium, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is you're in the business of bringing product to customers. Make it available to customers. Boom. Pretty simple. No wonder we pay an arm and a leg because they make it hard to buy things. I'm going toy hunting tomorrow. Good luck, Jillian. I hope it goes well for you. What are Selects? Selects they're like a subline of Generations. They're usually made up of repaints, but it's where we got things like the Seacons were all Selects. God Neptune is Selects. Exhaust, Grease Pit is selects. What else has been selects that we've had? Hubcap is going to be selects. In the past, we've gotten the Cybertron Defense Hotshot, Chromar, Zetar, and whoever the third lad was right now. They were all selects. So selects is a sub brand. Hey, that's all right, TFN Geek. You got to go, baby. You got to go. They come to in a brown, they're come in a brown box. I wouldn't even say they're semi-exclusive. Like our Toys R Us has shelves of like Chromar like lined up now. I don't know how exclusive it is. Dinosaur Planet. I wish that selects would be in Ollie's and Walmart here in the US. Yes, you know what? Put them in, even if not in Walmart. Ollie's. There you go. They always get stuff after the fact. We don't have that here in Canada, but we have stuff in EB Games. We have stuff in Toys R Us. Ollie's would be a perfect spot to have something like Selects. Absolutely, Dinosaur Planet. You think there will be a new Thunder Clash anytime soon? No, I don't, Stephen, but I would love if there was. I really would. I would be so for that, assuming I can actually get it. Selects is a toy line that is one made by, like King Poseidon. Yeah, that's right. Strongly dislike the Earthrise Seekers, but want the Coneheads. Yeah, I'm with Ninja Bill. We still got a few hours of light in Oklahoma, but it's an expression going down. Hey, Clifton. Distribution of the War for Cybertron fairs isn't fair, in my opinion. It's not. I absolutely agree. I live in the States, yet it's still hard to find. Yes, the Astro Train. My White Whale seems to be Battle Masters. Battle Masters. There's some we get, there's some we don't get. A lot of times what I'll end up doing is buying extra and customizing them to be what I want. Speaking of which, coming up tomorrow, we're going to take a look at, speaking of Battle Masters, we're going to take a look at two Battle Masters. That one and that one. That's right. If you remember in the unboxing last week, I had two extra Battle Masters thanks to non-metal, and I decided the best thing to do is paint them up. Blur and Cup were the only two characters in my collection who were supposed to have Target Masters who didn't have their Target Master partners. So I took the two extra Heat Stroke and Heartburn that I had, and I painted them up to become Recoil and Haywire. So we're going to take a closer look at them very briefly tomorrow. Speaking of, I'll take this up here for when we get to it now in a second. Speaking of a custom, I'm going to give you an update on my Deathcobra custom in just a couple of minutes. I'm just going to check back in here with you guys. It's easier than ever to get any Transformers we want. No, it's not, Kato. That's the thing. No, it's not. It's harder than ever, to be honest with you, for anybody that's not, I guess, in the States. It's harder than ever. Half of the things, like you got exhaust, for example, we don't even have a place to get it yet. People are saying, we finally found the 2-pack Seekers. We don't have a place to get it yet. I guess it's all relative, but like it makes me angry when I see this disparity. And you know what? It makes me angry even for people in the States. Like I know how hard Ninja Bill finds it to find stuff sometimes. I don't like it. They have serious distribution problems, and they don't acknowledge it. They don't even acknowledge it's a problem. They talk like it's not a problem, and it's costing them money, and costing them money is what's raising the price for all of us, and that doesn't sit right with me. I think they need a corporate overhaul, if I'm being perfectly honest. Seeing the Studio Series Blitzwing's head not painted makes me think that Hasbro sometimes doesn't. Sometimes doesn't. I got news for you, Jillian. They never ever care. They're a corporation. Their bottom line is to make profit and get your money with as little effort as possible. That's the truth. You can say what you like about it, but that's the truth of any business, not just Hasbro. Any business. They care about the bottom line. They have to, especially in the age that we're in now. I have seen some Selects figures processed as damaged goods because some moron ripped the box open and pretty much trashed the figure. I could absolutely believe that. Besides, most of the shows like SDCC and Toy Fair are handled by PR people that don't have the info GotBot is wanting. Then they're not doing their job right either. They should have that info before they ever open their trap. I'm sorry, but like, I'm not going to reward incompetence by saying because they didn't know any better. Then you shouldn't be opening your mouth about it. It's as simple as that. When I come to you guys, I always make sure wherever I can to point out as many routes of distribution as possible. I'm a nobody. And even I point out to you where things are available in the US, in Canada, and in Europe a lot of the times when I can. Outside of that, I find it really hard to know. Sometimes I throw in Australia, but honestly, I'm a nobody. People that are supposed to be professionals should have better sense. I'm sorry, I don't support it. I think it's bad business and it makes them look bad. That's why I'm looking toward third-party ones. Clifton, as far as these exclusives, just have patience. You guys in Canada, China, and UK, and everyone else will get them eventually. I hope so. My problem isn't in them coming out. I think it's great that these characters are finally being done, and we live in a world where we're getting like an updated grease pit. I think that's great. My problem is that it gets announced without the foresight to make sure that it's available to the fans. All you're doing is agitating and aggravating people by saying, hey, here you go, and here's how it's available, so you can get it right now if you live here. I think that that's reprehensible. To have that be your motto for business, I think it's bad business, man. Call me nuts, but I don't, and not just Hasbro, like any company. I don't support that, man. Analog Ninja here, and he is our Super Chat super fan. I appreciate him so very. I appreciate you all so very much. After the trilogy, they should bring out the selects to all stores. Absolutely, they should. Look, I'm lucky enough to be getting God Neptune, not because I was able to find them myself, but because, and I'll say it, because Crimson Raptors was good enough to work with me, and he's the one who's got it set up for me, thankfully, because I can't do it by myself. It's not possible for me to do it by myself. And I think that that's I think that's bad business, man. And I'm not the only person. You ask T-Fan Page 101 what his thoughts are on this, and I can tell you right now, he's a little disgruntled too, man. Do you think Huffer can be a Mario Bros. Paint? It was done in animated, sure, why not? Well, it must be lovely to be Jay and Kato. La-ti-da for you guys. That's what I'm going to say about that. It's possible to see select Titan Masters with vehicle, and maybe you could see that in select Slinks Master, where you got a Titan Master with their vehicle, possibly. I wouldn't hold my breath for it, but you could. Grimlock Gon says, if I can't find a robot, I just make it. Yes, and Grimlock Gon has the skill to do just that. Exhaust hasn't been released yet. A scalper got his hands on a box of them, and that's why you're seeing them pop up. But they were on Toy Dojo for a short time. I like FAEO Schwartz because they get the bigger class figures. Well, that's fair. Yeah, DevCon would be excellent. Hey, Larrikin, happy to see you, buddy. I know that you're coming in with me going off on a tear, but it's just me complaining about Pulse. What else is new? Let's see. Okay, so Event Progenitor. Look at Event Progenitor in here. They don't ship where I live in Canada, Event Progenitor. I've tried it before, and it's been no. We don't ship there. So, no, they don't necessarily ship to Canada. And look at Larkin. Happy Canada Day. I absolutely appreciate it. Larkin, one of our Super Chat super fans tonight. Event Progenitor might be partially right. I know that Pulse does not ship to my neck of the woods. So there you go. Sometimes they also have to deal with stuff like confidentiality agreements with distributors. MWG, stop. Stop defending them. You're not going to sell me on it. Everything you've said is a flimsy excuse. I'm sorry. Like, dude, I know you've been around forever, but no, it's a flimsy excuse. They do bad business. They don't have common sense before they open their mouth. No, I'm not excusing it. If you don't have your international channel set up, then hold off on the announcement because you're not ready to offer it. That's the bottom line. You can like it, you can lump it, but it's the truth. Otherwise, don't go calling yourself an international business. Simple as that. I don't understand scalpers. Oh, I understand scalpers. It's called greed. That's the world we live in, baby. Okay, so trying to get down through the news because, like I said, I'm trying to get through this as quickly as I can. Transform Dreamwave, they showed off a kit for King Poseidon. Actually, I'm kind of interested in this. I'm waiting to see the colors because since I've got Neptune, maybe with the kit, it could be a roundabout way to kind of get a King Poseidon look if I wanted to do it. It adds a lot. It adds a new torso, head, toes, a sword, new elbows. Boom, baby. I think it's a great, great set. We found out that for TfNation and the Big Broadcast, they have added Corey Shockwave Burton himself. I think that's fantastic as well. Also, we found out that Thu is going to be doing a review. I think it's actually up for his patrons now. He's going to be doing a review as part of the Big Broadcast, apparently. So I think that's really cool. We saw more images of the Flame Toys version of, it's like the Dark Star Saber. He looks beautiful, purple and black, as you would well expect. He looks absolutely gorgeous. What else do we have here? We found out the Transform Mission is going to be releasing their Menasor, and it's going to be done in like vac metal. Looks beautiful. It's about chug scale rubber tires. Come on, get out of here. Good night. If you like that Transform Mission version of Menasor, this might be up your alley if you missed it before or didn't bother to get it. I'm a little out on the like all gold drag strip, but the rest of them look spectacular. What else do we have here? We found out that Emma Watts is going to be kind of taking over as like the head of Paramount Pictures, and she will have a direct hand in franchises like G.I. Joe and of course Transformers. And she has previously worked on things like Logan, Deadpool, Avatar. So she has a track record of creative success in some excellent films. It'll be interesting to see what she adds to the franchises that we love. Speaking of G.I. Joe, I've been watching the reviews of that. Like Larkin has been doing them, and Kato's been doing them, and Inu Tabi's been doing them. Just yesterday I watched his Duke review, and I think they're great. If you're into the 6-inch line, I think that what's being done there is beautiful. The sculpting is great. The face sculpts are a little to me. I'm not sold on the face sculpts yet, but I think the Gung Ho looks good. I think the new Destro looks fantastic. I think Cobra Commander looks amazing. What else do we have? Shockwave Labs showed off a fusion cannon for Studio Series 54 Megatron. That's the one from the first movie that turns into the plane. The fusion cannon from Shockwave Labs, as you might guess. That's right. It has an LED in it. What else do we have? We saw posters for the Netflix series for the end of the month. First, we saw Magnus, Bumblebee, and Elita 1. I'm starting to agree with some people that said that Elita 1 is probably going to be based on the RC mold because getting a better, clearer look at her in the poster, I think you might be right. I don't think the B is going to be based on necessarily the Cliff Jumper mold. I think the same skeleton, same sort of engineering, but I think it's going to be a whole new mold. Then we saw two more. One with the Starscream, which is the Siege Starscream, looks great, and one with Skyfire, Jetfire. He has this like blade thing on his arm that's really cool. I'm waiting for a third party to get on that. He is sporting his Decepticon insignia. My guess is somewhere throughout the story, he will switch sides. We shall see. G Creation showed off their IDW Nemesis Prime, and it looks great. If you love what G Creations did with their Optimus, their Nemesis is fantastic, baby. What else do we have here? That might be it. That might be it for news. I'm going to check in with you guys because I know I was impassioned today, and not necessarily always in a good way. Well, it's always in a good way. Let's see. Going down. I think the advertising for the Netflix show has been horribly Yes, it has. You're right. Really, it's odd since they, as exception granted, they do odd things. Also, keep your eyes peeled for a white lobclaw. Yes, Event Progenitor actually brings something up there. I think I touched on it. If you go through the comic, there's a body shown of like a white version of Lobclaw. I can't remember what his name is now. And it's not included in the box set, but we might get a white repaint of that Lob Claw yet. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for it. Jay, TF Source is going to buy Center and damn near double the price for them. I'd say you're absolutely right. I used to like TF Source, but they have done some shady things in the last few years. Oh man. Netflix versions are 2 times the money. They were selling Netflix Magnus for $130. Wow. $130 US? That's nuts. Great shipping, horrible prices. Let's see. Pulse is crap at shipping. They for me to get the Micromaster 2-pack Off-Road Patrol, it would cost me $50 total, shipping included, for 2 Micromasters. That's insane. Event Progenitor. What? Hey TF Source, they sold some C-Cons, then held from mailing the first. Bought ones demanding more money, claiming they were listed wrong, blah, blah. Really? Wow, I've never heard that from TF Source before, but I have heard some people complain and say things like they're afraid that people are going to come back and ask for more money. I'm just being patient. Like my O1 Studio cell, my Unicron, has not shipped from Shozi. Now, could, if I wanted to pay for this alternate shipping route that they're taking now, or I can wait until the shipping goes back to normal. I'm just waiting until the shipping goes back to normal. I don't need it that bad. I like selects, don't like the handling. It's a disadvantage to teen fans who can't order from a site. That's an excellent point as well. I've always said everything should just be out in the store, man. There you go, out in the store. I do not buy Legos. Nope. Not at all. Starscream Wife is out. The main thing I hate about War of Cybertron is the repaints. Yeah, but they have less repaints than like Combiner Wars, right? I thought Elita 1 would be a repaint remold of Siege Chromium. So did I, based on what I saw early on, but I'm starting to think it might not be. TF Source is close to a scam site as you can get without being a scam site. Interesting. I've never had an issue with them myself. As we go down here, let's see. Megalopolis took 8 days to ship my Sentinel Prime. I mentioned earlier that there was a site that I was going to order the 2 from. It was Megalopolis. And when I went to the shipping was $60. I was like, no, you're insane. No, never going to happen. Yeah, they're trash. I agree with Kato. Toy Wiz is bad. Like, I like Robot Kingdom, but they're expensive too. I got my Jetfire for 50 Canadian, best deal of the year for me. That's an excellent deal. I got mine for 76 Canadian shipped. So I was good with that. Okay, ladies and gents, we only have 2 things left. Very quickly, I'm going to do the trivia because we didn't do it earlier. This one is a trivia inside of trivia. Listen closely. Which Autobot suffers from acrophobia? Bonus if you can tell me what acrophobia is. Is it Sea Spray, Power Glide, Blur, or Silverbolt? A, Sea Spray, B, Power Glide, C, Blur, or D, 4, Silverbolt. Which one suffers from acrophobia? And what is acrophobia? If you wanted, you could send a rant to... Why would I even bother to send a rant to Hasbro Pulse? They don't care because I don't live in the U.S. Has anyone bought an eBay Star Saber sword? They're amazing looking. I didn't even know it existed. Let's see. We have Silverbolt. We have D. Oh, look, Fair Heights. Fair Flying. Silverbolt, Fair Heights. Yeah. You guys are so smart. It is D. And yes, it is a Fair of Heights. And to be clear, Silverbolt's Fair is an intense Fair of Heights, not a flying, of heights. Very, very good, all of you people. Fantastic. Okay, and the very last thing that I'm going to leave you off with, and then I'm going to get out of here and spend some time relaxing and whatnot, is an update on this. This is where things currently stand with my custom Deathcobra. We are not done yet. I certainly need a Slither Fang for Cobra Breast, but I think he's coming along pretty nice for the most part. I am happy with how it's coming along. I do know that you can also get an add-on that gives him more rotors on the back. I'm not worried about that. I may eventually get it, but I'm not worrying about it right now. And I know that you can get alternate feet to make the front of the helicopter look more bulbous, like it's supposed to. I don't know if I'm going to bother with that yet. I may not, because I kind of like the way the robot looks here. I'm still waiting on some stuff to dry. I still have a little bit of work to do. The green was actually a fairly easy match, but I'll talk about that more when I actually do a review of this guy a little bit down the road. And just checking in with you guys. Custom, no, it's not Acid Storm, it's Deathcobra. Deathcobra is my favorite Breast Force member. Well, then when I get him done, Ben, I hope that you enjoy what the end result is. Okay, ladies, gents, I'm going to take off. Less than an hour. We're through everything. It's fantastic. I hope that you're heading into an awesome weekend. I know for a lot of you, it is going to be your July 4th weekend. I hope that you guys are safe. I hope you have fun. I hope you take care. As always, I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, don't forget there's a donate link down in the description. Or, of course, you can check us out on Patreon. See what we offer on Teespring. Shout out to Input. He picked up a mug, so I appreciate that. Besides all of that, what else can I say? To each and every one of you, you do make a difference each and every day. Oh, and Analog Ninja, thank you very much, buddy. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams at the stop motion premieres, or as tomorrow will show, inside the videos, because tomorrow, don't forget, we have the countdown of the top 10 funniest Transformers. It's going to be an interesting one. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here, and I'll catch you next time that we have a visit right here inside the videos.